Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to Uncut Africa Live, a channel that brings you insights of Africa. Welcome to Uncut Africa Live, a channel that brings you insights of African politics. I was facing some kind of difficulties, but I have sorted it out. So today is going to the live will be on. So today I want us to talk about whether African Americans will be able to survive in Africa. If African Americans will be able to survive in Africa, there has been, I think, since for centuries, African Americans have taken Africa as their motherland. So majority of African Americans has somehow moved permanently to some of the African countries, which includes Ghana, Tanzania, Kenya, and Gambia. Majority of African Americans have moved to these countries. Some of these countries, it's not only these 4 countries, but even South Africa, you can find African Americans there. And one thing that we have realized is, for some time now, after 2019, when Ghana President Nana Addo initiated and activated an event called Year of Return, the climax of African Americans moving to Ghana has been immense. It has been immense. So a lot of African Americans decided to move to Ghana and other African countries. But for few years now, we have realized some African Americans has started being complaining about their disappointment of moving to the continent, and some has really shared their anger. Some has even also decided to move back to America. So I have come across some of these videos, which is very distasteful, because sometimes as African, our struggle has always been how other race project Africa as a very bad image for Africa. So we have been facing this type of difficulties projecting Africa. So Africa has started picking up, projecting ourselves because of social media. So many of other race have realized that Africa don't used to be how it used people used to tell them. People used to tell the other race that we sleep on trees, we only live in mud houses. But now, because of social media, people can see Africa for themselves. So sometimes when you watch some of the videos and things, our brothers who are from the same race also start talking ill about their experience in Africa, I decided to also share a little some of my views on this particular topic. Yes, Ghana president or the Ghana government initiated a policy, which an event called Year of Return in 2019, and that has most at times convinced a lot of people to move to Africa. But one thing they don't realize is it's not just, you don't just pack your things and move to Africa. You have to also find grounds to be able to move to Africa. In Africa, we don't have the same systems as the Western countries. Western countries are developed countries, and Africa, we are now developing. So our systems are a little bit different. We don't have systems like the Western countries. So most of the times, if a diaspora move to Africa, sometimes because of what they have heard and things their expectation, when they come and they don't meet their expectation, they become disappointed and they start taking their phone and start talking ill about some of these countries. But the advice I will give you to most of the diasporans is, if you hear about a country, a certain country, and how the country is beautiful, how the country is peaceful, how the country is this, before you move to these countries, I think you have to also do your research. You have to do a research and make sure these countries are you can live in these countries. You have to do a research and make sure, is this countries a true country which I can live in it? So after your research, I think you have to visit the country, not to move to the country. You have to visit the country because most of the times, if you visit the country like a month or 3 months, you'll be able to assess the country through your own eye to understand the systems of this country. Most of the African Americans move to Ghana, and one thing they normally do is they will come and be renting expensive apartments, live in expensive areas, and most of the times they don't have the capital that can sustain them. And in Ghana, or maybe other African countries, but I'll only talk about Ghana because Ghana is where I come from, and Ghana is where I am at the moment. So most of the times, when you come to Ghana and you rent this expensive apartment and live in these expensive areas, this real estate, most of the times your money or whatever, it will cost you, and your money will be spent quickly. So what I will advise most of the African Americans to do is, when they come to Africa, they have to study the system. They have to find places which is affordable, because in Ghana, when you come, you have to pay advance. Any apartment that you get is few apartments which you can pay it monthly, but most of the times you have to pay in advance. So you have to pay 2 years advance, and if you are going to pay 2 years advance of a rent, it's a huge money. So if you are going to rent an apartment for $2,000 and you are paying for 2 years, it's going to be big for you. Maybe at the moment you can afford it, but if you are not careful, few years to come, you are going to run dry. Few years to come, you are going to run dry. So it's about time the diasporans who move to Africa start studying our systems. It's about time they have to start studying our systems. Our systems don't flow like the Western countries. Our systems are not like US. Our systems are not like UK. We have different kind of system. So most of the times when you visit Africa and you start comparing Africa systems to the Western country systems, then it means you didn't do your findings. Yes, in Africa, especially Ghana. Ghana is a peaceful place which you can stay for your safety, for your family. But because we are not developed, our systems are not exactly like the Western systems, so we fall short in a lot of how should I put it? A lot of industries. Let me say, like our healthcare, our educational systems, the way our customer service is not exactly like the US or like the UK or other Western countries. We are now developing. So one thing I want us to also discuss is Africa is not yet there yet. Africa is not yet there yet. So if you are coming to Africa, what you should understand is you are coming to help build the continent. At the moment, we have fallen short of many things. So when you come to this, when you are visiting Africa, you can't come here and be expecting everything to be luxurious and you start coming to chill, like maybe you are traveling to Greece or you are traveling to Italy, you are traveling to Santorini or something. No, Africa, we have our own challenges. So if you want to move to Africa, it's more like you are coming to help us to build the continent. So when you are coming, we are also expecting your contribution, because at the moment there are too much opportunities. As we are not developed yet, but there are too much opportunities here, which if you are coming from the diaspora, diasporans are coming to Africa, there are too much opportunities which they can take advantage of, because at the end of the day, wherever there are issues, there are opportunities. So if you come and you realize we are facing power problems like electricity problems, there are opportunity for you to also invest in that field, which is going to which you are going to make a lot of money. If you come and you realize maybe Africans are exporting too much fruit juice, we have vast land which you can also invest in the fruit juice industry for you to be making money. If you come and you realize Africa has fallen short of estates, if there are lands but the estates are too much expensive, or some people are using the real estates to take advantage of other people, if you have the capital, you can start gradually by building estates. So there are too much opportunities in Africa. So those who have some mindset of moving to Africa and just coming to party, coming to have fun, and later when they move and they realize all things are not luxurious like how they see it online, they get triggered. That is not how it works. The year of return or beyond the return initiative, it was inviting you to come and help us build the continent. At the moment, Africa, we have our own issues which we are now addressing. So as our systems are not luxurious, so instead of you going online, talk trash about country, because I have seen a couple of YouTube videos where somebody will move to Tanzania and they went to face some challenges and they come and start talking trash about Tanzania. They move to Ghana, they face some few challenges, they talk trash about Ghana. We have had enough of that negativity, because at the end of the day, Africa, since Africa became existence, the only thing we face is negativity. Since African became existence, the only thing we face is negativity. We only face negativity when the other race comes. They go to the slums, take picture and put it online. Till recently, when social media came, is when people have started witnessing the real Africa. Many people were thinking we live under trees. Many people were thinking we live, some sleep in the mud houses. Many people even don't know we have mansions, which maybe you haven't even seen some in developed countries or Western countries. So there are a lot of things which we can collaborate and do together. So instead of you come and taking advantage of the system, if you decide to talk trash about Africa or look down on Africans, we are going to be in the same place. And one thing I have realized is most of the Europeans, when the Europeans, let me say the Western country, the white, when they come to Africa, what they do is most of the times they rather keep quiet, take advantage of the system. Most of the Europeans, even especially the Lebanese, the Indians, they take advantage of the system and they build wealth. So you come to Ghana and you realize a lot of a lot of shopping malls are for Indians, are for Lebanese, and they don't even come here with a lot of money. That's something you should realize. You don't need a whole lot of money to make it in Africa. You just need the mindset, your mindset, and you have to work hard. If you work hard, you are going to get what you want. And if you also come from abroad, you can bring investors in Africa. Only thing you realize is just tap in most of our resources and present to them as a bilateral, and they are going to buy into it, and they are going to invest in most of the industries you want to build. But at the end of the day, they come, our own people, our own race, our own brother who comes here has started projecting Africa in also another dark light, which is very sad, because the Western countries are rather taking advantage of our resources. Most of the shopping malls in Ghana are for Indians or Lebanese. Most of our industries, most of our factories are for Lebanese, Indians, and sometimes even what do we call it? The European countries. That is what is happening. So if you are coming to Africa, I think you have to prepare your mindset. You have to prepare your mindset is either you are in or you are out. Here we don't. If you have money, you can live a luxurious life. But if you are a young guy, that's why most of the times those who travel to some years back, the African Americans who used to move to Africa were the ones who are in pension. So when they take their pensions benefits, they just move to Africa and come and enjoy it. But if you are a young guy and you have had enough in the States, you have had enough in the maybe in Europe, and you want to move back to Ghana, you have to have something you are coming to do. You have to have the mindset, because otherwise it's going to be back and forth, because we have enough issues. So if you are also coming to just come here and realize you find out how your expectations, you are disappointed about your expectations, and you also take phones and start talking trash about African countries, then the concept of us also trying to project Africa is just cost 90. It just costs 90. We are inviting you to come to Africa and let us build Africa together, because there are too much opportunities. Let me tell you, we have everything. When you just come, we have everything. We have resources. We have vast lands. We have virgin lands that are just there and no one is taking advantage of these virgin lands. Most of the diasporans comes and they are just living in Accra. They are living in all these luxurious places. You can scatter around. You can also go and do your research in these villages. We have vast villages with lands which you can invest in these lands. You can build something with these lands. But most of the times when they come, they base in Accra, they end up spending all their money, because what is happening is most of the Accra apartments, the real estate, you comes and you are staying, you mostly stays there, are most of the times are for foreigners. So it's all about profit. It's all about profit. But if you really want us to build this continent, you ignore Accra, you can move to a small town, start something there, and gradually we can build this continent together. Because the negativity is too much. The negativity is too much. There we have. I want to repeat myself. We have already. Africa has already have enough negativity from most of the Western countries. So our own race should normally understand the situation and make sure they tone down and take advantage of the system. Because in Ghana, we have gold, we have diamond, we have lithium. Currently, our government just gave huge amount of lithium to some Australian company. We are only taking 13%. Imagine if an African American company was the one coming to take advantage of this situation. The money should have stayed in our community. Imagine if this company which is coming to exploit our resources were all black. If it was black people who were taking all this advantage of the resources, all this money were going to stay in our communities. But at the end of the day, this Westerners comes, they come and exploit the resources, and exactly when they see, they are the one who take advantage of the resources, and later we end up not benefiting anything from them. So the diasporans, I won't say only the diasporans, both UK Africans or the diasporans, if you have a concept, if you have a talent, whatever you have, you should help us. You should help us instead of denigrating us. You should help us. You should normally help us build the continent. Yes, we have a whole lot of intense politics in Ghana, in Africa. Our politics are being controlled by some people we don't know. So we have a very sensitive politicians, like our political systems are a little bit sensitive. So we have a whole lot of issues when it comes to politics. But if you come, you can do your work, you can do your job, you can invest, and no one is going to bother you. So instead of you guys talking down on Africa, help us project Africa, because whatever you see is not caused by us. It was caused by the colonialism, like how they were able to also manipulate many blacks in Africa. That's exactly what they have done to most Africans. So let's do this together. Today I just came here for us to have this conversation, because I don't normally do content about African Americans, and I only project the positivity of Africa. But today, I've come across a lot of videos that are very distasteful, and I just decided, because it's December. This December, a lot of African Americans will be coming to Ghana, and most of the times when they come, they are only staying in these luxurious places. They are only partying. They are only going to spend time at the beautiful places. They end up not touring the real country. So I would even prefer, if a diasporan want to visit Africa, you should visit when there are no events. Come and face the reality. And if you come, you are going to meet the genuine people. You are going to meet the genuine people for them to show you around. They are going to tell you things you should do, things you should not do, things you can invest in, things you cannot invest in. Just come, make friends. They will explain things to you for you to understand. Don't just buy into the hype and just come and partying, and after you partying, you realize here is so cool place to live. Then you just go back and move. No, come and study the system before you move to Africa, because otherwise you are always going to face a lot of challenges. I have there is somebody called Regmon Music, say Grace and Peace, and there is AJ Graves. I want to visit Tamale. Yes, Tamale is a very lovely place. It's a lovely place. Tamale is a lovely place in Ghana, the northern parts of Ghana. It's a lovely place. So if you come to Ghana, don't just stay Accra. Move around. Go to Eastern region. Go to Volta region. Go to Northern region. Northern region, where he want to visit, which is Tamale, there are vast lands, which that is virgin lands, which you can do huge agricultural business. You can plant foods, and you are going to make huge amount of money. So if you visit Africa, don't just stay at the places where you feel comfortable. Go to the outskirts. Go and witness the real beauty of Ghana. Because at the end of the day, if you really want to move to Africa, you have to do your research. You have to come around. You have to come and study our system, so that you will know what to do and what not to do. It's a beautiful place. Africa is a beautiful place. I saw a story of an African American. These African Americans came to Ghana. They moved to Ghana, and they came to spend. Okay, somebody is asking Regmon Music, what place has the coolest climate in Ghana? Okay, the coolest climate in Ghana is Eastern region, Volta region, Eastern region, Volta region, and Eastern Volta, and I think Western region. But Eastern region and Volta region has a very good weather. It has a very good weather. That is when you go to Abri, Akropong. It has a very good weather, and they have beautiful mountains. So Eastern region and what do we call it? And Volta region has a very good weather. So as I was saying, I watched an African Americans who moved to Ghana, and when they moved, they came to spend 2 years, and when they came, they became frustrated. They really became frustrated, but the frustration was few, which they were supposed to beat. The whole moving was beautiful. They said they love the weather, because Ghana, we don't have this winter and all these weird weathers. So when they moved, they decided to rather take into consideration of the negative side. But they confirmed that they enjoyed our food, they enjoyed the weather, they enjoyed the peaceful nature of the country. In Ghana, you can wake up and go out and you can come back at any time you want. Ghana is a very peaceful place. I can't say much about other African countries, but as Ghana, it's a very peaceful place. You can go out and come home at 1 a.m. and no one is going to bother. Yeah, there are some incidents, but generally Ghana is a very peaceful place. So these people confess that the peaceful nature, the weather, the fruits, they were saying our pineapples are very sweet. So the whole moving to Ghana was beautiful, but they rather considered the small negative things they faced and they moved back to US. When they moved back, when they went there, they realized Ghana was far better because they couldn't stand the system in US again. They became depressed. So they didn't have any option than to move back to Ghana again. But this time when they came, they were able to sit down and make sure everything they are doing is on point. If the problems comes, they decide to find a way around the problem and solve the problem. That was what helped them to acclimate, to be able to acclimate to Ghana situation, Ghana system. And now they are living here happily. They are happily living in Ghana. So when you come, you just have to find a way around our problems and rather see more positives than the negatives. Today, I wanted to do other content, but I realized as it's December and Christmas is just around the corner, and as people have started moving, people have started flowing in from Western countries to come and celebrate the Christmas. So I decided to address this issue because I don't want you to come to Ghana, and our course is to project Africa in a very good light. But you come here and you face few challenges and you pick phone and start talking trash about Ghana, talking trash about other African countries. Yes, we have issues, but we can work together for us to address these issues. The negativity is enough. So let's work around these issues and it's going to be better continent. It will be a very, if Africa is able to put, we are able to put our things together, Africa is going to be a great continent for you to visit. And the beautiful thing is, if you are a diasporan and you visit Africa, it's your home. Your ancestors were picked from here to the Western countries. So when you get here, here is your home. A lot of African Americans moved here centuries ago, and now they are Ghanaians. They speak our language. Some speak Ghana, some speak Ewe, some speak Twi. So it's about time. Let us collaborate among each other. Let us make sure we don't look down upon ourselves. Let us make sure if you come and you face challenges, ask for help. If you ask for help, you are going to get help. Don't just pick your phone and start talking. And Ghana, I didn't know Africa was like this. I didn't know. Yes, we have very bad people here. Like how in America, they also have very bad people. But if you are not careful and you jump in the arms of a bad person, you are going to be toast. That's why I'm saying, when you come if you want to move, visit first and try to make friends. Don't influence people too with money. Try to meet people who can genuinely help you. If you meet people who can genuinely help you, make friends with them, take their contact. When you go back, still share contact with them, talk to them, communicate with them, make friends first before you try to make moves. Now, like Ghana, for instance, we have a lot of African Americans living in Ghana. So they have this, I think they have communities which you can also join, and they are also going to show you the way to be able to beat the system, for you to know, for you to be welcome in Africa. So don't let us talk down on ourselves, because blacks is facing a lot of challenges wherever we go. Imagine wherever an African go, or an black person go, let me put it, wherever black person go, they normally face challenges. When you travel to Europe, you are going to face racial abuse. When you travel to Asia, a black person, somehow you face racial abuse. Even in America, where they have majority of blacks living, still they are facing racial discrimination. So wherever you go, but if you tell the truth, those who have visited Africa, when you get to Africa, you feel welcome. When you get to Africa, you feel welcome because you are one of us. You feel welcome. You are from here. It's not any black person somehow have his roots in Africa. So when you visit Africa, especially the sub-Saharan Africans, you feel welcome. If you don't, if you haven't talked, a lot of people will think whether you are one of them. Until you talk is when they realize, oh, you have an accent. Are you an American, or are you from England or something? But you are one of us. So Africa is your home, is your motherland. You can. So those who are also trying to project the negative side of us, I think it's not something that is really good, and it's not something that is going to help us in the near future. I hope I am able to communicate, and I'm able to, people really understood what the message I'm trying to communicate to my viewers. Let's all build Africa, and at the end of the day, Africa is going to be one of the best continents, and maybe not in my time, or not in this generation, but one day, Africa is going to be superpower. As one content I shared, Africa is going to be great. The new generation is realizing what is happening, and we have started taking bold decisions to make sure we have a safe continent and we have a prosperous continent to live in. Some of us are not moving out. Some of us are not running away from our continent. We are going to make sure our continent become better. Because if you move out from your continent, if you move out from your country and you go and stay in Europe, you go and stay in America, at the end of the day, in case something happens and you come back, you will still come back to Africa. And if you were not able to help for them to build it, you are also going to meet the same Africa, and you are going to be disappointed. But at the moment, let's help build our continent and make sure we succeed of whatever we want to do. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification button. As a few months ago, I also visited my town. And I showed you a land I acquired to do a livestock farming, and I seek for help from most of my viewers, and some has really contributed. I'm trying to get names, but they are not sending me their names. Some has contributed on this particular project I want to do. I'll leave. At the moment, I haven't written anything. I haven't put my account information in the comment section. I'll put my account information in the description box, so anybody who wants to support can support, so that these initiatives can be activated. Some people have been sending me some money and I want to appreciate them. I told them that they can send me their email so I'll know exactly their names, but still I haven't received any names in my email. So I'm still asking if they can share their name with me so I can appreciate them. So I'll leave my bank details and my mobile app where I have ZELLE 2 from US, and I have my normal mobile money and my bank account. I'll leave in the description box so anybody who wants to help can also contribute, so that we can activate this initiative nicely. I told you the income of this livestock farming is going to support my village, which is Achimenyinasin, the underprivileged kids who, after completing junior high school, they can't get money to continue to the senior high school. I know recently, for now, senior high school is free, but most of the times when they are going, they need some things. They need chopbox, they need mattress, they need a lot of things to go to school with. So we can support all these people so that at the end of the day, they can also will go through school and can afford to also become great individuals in the future. So please don't forget to subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification button so that anytime I upload any great content, you will be notified. Thanks a lot for watching. I do appreciate all your support, and small we are going to get there. So have peace and have faith in Africa, and let's make Africa great again. Bye.